How do you discern between good business advice and scams where a business expert is just taking your money? It's so hard to tell these days. Oh man. Okay. So I don't know if you're a CoffeeZilla fan. If you're not, you probably should be. I mean, I'm a fan. I like what he does. I'd love to have him on my channel at some point to talk about that. I've pitched him, but he's opened my emails. He just is. I know he's busy tracking the next NFT meltdown thing going on, and rightfully so. There's somebody needs to be holding these people accountable. Um, okay, how do you discern good advice? So the approach that I always take is I want the people that I work with, like in the super entrepreneur mastermind, to make the decisions ultimately of their own, right? We as entrepreneurs, we are problem solvers, right? That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be able to see what the situation is, identify the problems, and make solutions. And I think that pretty much not, I don't want to say everybody because I hate making blanket statements. Glad you love CoffeeZilla. I love CoffeeZilla too. He's doing great work. Um, Look, I mean, so many people out there are just faking it for the fake it till you make it kind of thing. I mean, I've seen stories where people were like, "Oh, I hired this coach, and basically they told me to fire everybody, and I wasn't sure if I should do it. Should I not do it?" And this is one story that just comes to mind from one message, I think a message board or something I was reading, and my thought to that was, look, even doctors get it wrong. You should get a second opinion. It doesn't matter what you're going for. Get us, usually if it has something to do with a life-threatening anything, and in this case, a life-threatening to your business, a life-threatening to your team, your family, and everything else that's tied to your business, your customers. Um, be leery, right? And you should be leery of all time, even of me. I invite people to question. I would love to have, I want to have a educated conversation, or debate, engage conversation, if you will, about anything that I have to say about business. And I think when you're looking at who is the business expert that I want to work with, right? I think what you should do is look at the people that are doing what you want to be doing. Still have a skeptical eye. Always have a question everything. I mean, it's like literally one of the things I wrote in my first books. It was a chapter. It was question everything, right? Um, and 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 see, like, is this person acting in the way that I want them, that I would expect them to? Is this a person I would actually want to talk to, that I would actually want to work with and accomplish the goals? Are they aligned with how I think, how I feel? I mean, I know I'm not for everybody, right? Like the whole super entrepreneur thing, positivity, and I consider myself a positive realist, is not for everybody, and that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. It's not gonna change my way of life one way or the other. So I think that you really need to align with people that are saying the things that you want to hear, but also saying things that maybe you don't want to hear, but are delivering it in a way that makes you feel confident that it's real. Now, with that said, like things can be plot. I mean, even listening to this, like it is a bit of a conundrum. If you're going to TikTok for your information, I don't know. I mean, if people are there, they're flashing their this or their that. I tend to think that there's a lot more to probably not believing them. Also, I mean, do your due diligence. Go check out their social media. What are they posting about? What kind of engagement are they getting? Are they just getting a ton of likes and views on TikTok or on YouTube, what's the comments look like? What's the community around that person look like? Do you feel like the people that are writing those comments with what they're writing? Do you feel like these are people you'd want to hang out with? These are people you would like to learn from. But anybody who's selling a single box, like, hey, if you just follow this six step thing, like we're gonna make it rain up in here. You're gonna have so much money. Blah 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 blah. There's no one path to success. You have to do the things that you feel right in doing, and are able to look at to have the data to be able to go and say, okay, this is the direction that I want to, because every audience, every customer base, every opportunity to be in front of people is going to be different. The people that are listening to this show, watching this show, the people that are watching CoffeeZilla, the people that are watching, Grant Cardone or Gary Vee are different. There's a different makeup of people, and a different level of comfortability of those people to speak the way that they want. So yeah. With that said, like, I'm not the biggest Gary Vee fan. I'm not the biggest Grant Cardone fan, even though I'm doing. I have a new, what time is it? 10:30. I have a new Grant Cardone Undercover Billionaire dropping in like 30 minutes here. I try to keep a open mind with the advice and things. I also, the other thing is, another question you could ask is, are they insured? Are they insured for the things that they're putting out there? Because if they're not insured, that doesn't bode very well. It doesn't bode very well from a advice standpoint. You want to make sure that they're insured. What kind of background do they have? How did they make their money? What stories have they shared? Go into like podcast interviews, right? I invite you to go to my website, go to superjoepardo.com, go to the press under about, I think it is, or contact. There's a press button there. There's like 150 interviews that I've given, over the course of the last 7 years, plus 400 plus, podcast episodes that I've done prior to all this. So I invite you to go and do all that. And I invite you to do that with any business expert that you're looking to work with, really anybody that you're looking to work with, not just in business. Go and do your research as much as possible. And always, I guess the best litmus test I could give you is if something, they always say, like, is it too good to be, if it's too good to be true, sounds too good to be true, then it probably isn't. I would say that 9.5 times out of 10, that's probably the case. And that's one of the reasons I set up my the way I do videos and the way I interact with people and interviews and everything is consistent. It's why I got bags under my eyes, because it's just, I'm not putting makeup on, because I want to be real, and I want to be able to be trusted. And if you're, I don't want to say if you're lying about that kind of thing, what else are you lying about? But yeah, you got to do your research. So I really appreciate the question, because it's definitely something I've wrangled with for a long time. In fact, out of the gate, when I left my family's business back in 2014, I was all gun-ho about, business coaching and the podcast and everything. And I actually watched a show with Penn and Teller called Bullshit. And I was binging it and got to the episode where they talked about coaching and how, BS it was. And it made me feel like, I don't want to be... I don't want to be connected to people like that are like that. They're just there to take people's money and all that. And it was a number of years. So I did a couple of, I worked with a couple of people right out of the gate, and then kind of simmered on that and worked in, a lot of times I was working on websites, like building websites for people to make money, to make ends meet. And it was, my good friend and one of my business mentors, eventually, and we were really good friends. Samantha Riley, we started talking, and I told her, like, I don't, feel really confident in the, being a business coach, because I don't want to be lumped in with these business experts and get rich quick schemes and all that stuff. And she told me, she's like, Joe, you you and I have to do this because of those people. You and I have to be out there preaching the right things, and showing people the right way of going about doing it, and that there is no quick way of just making it all happen. Quick could still be a year. Quick could still be 2 years, 3 years of climbing that ladder to success for what you want to accomplish. Not me, but the people that we're talking to. And it was that conversation that got me, okay, maybe she's right. I mean, I've been around business since I was 6 years old, sweeping floors in the family business. This upcoming year in September, I will have been around and in business and started many businesses over the years for 30 years at the age of 35. Well, I'll be 36 at that point. So from the age of 6, I started working there, sweeping floors, counting inventory, putting stuff on shelves and things like that. So most people don't have that experience, and I'm not one to say like, oh, look at this kid on TikTok. He's like, 17 years old. What does he know about business? Because like I was, one of those kids. So age isn't an opportunity to kind of poo-poo somebody's experience in my book, but it could be, it could very well be, I definitely be skeptical of like crypto. And with that said, I've invested in crypto. I mine some crypto. I'm skeptical of NFTs, but I understand, and I'm going to do a video talking about NFTs in the upcoming months here, or upcoming week or so here. I think that the work, to me, the work speaks for itself. The history speaks for itself, and I think that if you're interested in somebody, if they are an open book and they are giving enough proof to show that they are being forward about what they bring to the table, then maybe feel comfortable, as long as, again, it's aligned with how you look and feel. Because a coach, that's really all we do, is we help you. We help make the assess where you're at and make the necessary changes and analogies to make it so that it's relatable to you, to get you where you want to go.